So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexandra Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I was... Yes, Frank! I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
Another set of golden gates. These must be connected to the ones near the megastructure.
There was a harder set of puzzles in the simulation, right? And maybe they're like that. I know 1K is probably like, yay, harder puzzles. But to me, that sounds like error code 704. No thanks.
Seems to be fully charged now. Try accessing the tower, 1K.
Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man, and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics. Yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood.
Interesting monument. Decorative for another puzzle.
This is very similar to the structure where you found the schematics.
Check out the terminals. Maybe there's something that'll help us understand who built this place. They have to have left something behind.
Hey 1K, what's up? Oh no, please, no puzzles. I'm so bad at puzzles. I barely got out of the booting process. Elohim thought I might be defective. It might be this. Although there was an expedition to a superconductor storage facility up north, incredibly well preserved, but the logistics were an absolute nightmare. Now that I think about it, there might be some of that in you. Our ancestors built some pretty amazing things. Huge cities, factories, mines, monuments to their history, but nothing quite like this, no.
if this is relevant, but St. Edwald believed that tetrominoes represented the name of God and God's ability to reshape the world.
True, but he was also mad as a hatter.
One man's madness is another man's genius.
I was terrible at the tetromino arrangers.
Those were actually the only ones I was good at. What? I'm just saying. Is that some kind of anti-gravity?
I'm not sure. Could be, I guess.
In the beginning, the gods shaped humankind out of the clay of the earth and gave them life with their own breath. But who is closer to perfection, the creator or the created? Improvement makes straight roads, but the crooked roads, without improvement, are roads of genius. When Prometheus saw that humankind was more alike in nature to the gods than to the animals, he stole the secret of fire from Olympus and shared it with the mortals. Was his theft justified? all deities reside in the human breast. Angered by the betrayal of Prometheus, Zeus punished humankind by creating Pandora. He gave her a box, and when she opened it, from inside escaped sorrow and suffering. All that remained within was hope. What does this mean? Those who seek hope should ask themselves why it was imprisoned with the world's evils. Creature of clay, you stand before the fire. Will it make you whole, or will it destroy you? Consider the shadows cast by the flame, but do not mistake them for truth.
Guys, look at my stream. The beam 1K activated is connecting to the pyramid.
That looks like a massive amount of power.
We need to talk about what just happened. Thoughts?
I'd say there are two distinct issues here. What is the being 1K spoke to, and what is the function of the beam?
Let's start with the Sphinx.
It seems similar to the apparition in New Jerusalem. Presumably the same technology.
What I'd like to know is what we're dealing with, ontologically speaking. Was this a sentient being or some kind of recording? That doesn't necessarily mean that it's intelligent.
Let's assume for a moment that 1K is right, and it is intelligent in some sense. What really matters here is what it was trying to achieve by asking those questions.
Testing you to what? See if you're worthy?
That's an interesting thought. You solve the puzzles, you get access to the towers, you enable a beam, and if you do it 3 times, you get access to the megastructure.
Maybe, but why?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Don't you like mysteries, Al? Everybody likes a good mystery.
You know what I like? Certainty.
I don't disagree, but I still think we should proceed. 1K, keep solving puzzles. The rest of you, as you were.
Right, everybody, I'm sure you're all excited to check out the next site, but while you're there, remember that I'm still trying to fix the rest of the transport system. You know, to get that success rate up a bit. Maybe there's another one of those labs that 1K found. If there is, look for more documentation, please.
What can I do for you, 1K? I don't know. It's obviously impressive, but I think we should be very careful. We're dealing with powers we don't really understand. Whatever that being is, it told us that we stand before the fire. That can only be a warning, and I think we should take it seriously. We don't want another New Alexandria. Well, puzzles, or trials, as Elohim calls them, were used as part of the process that created the Founder, and they're still part of how we're born. They symbolize the human ability to understand the world and solve problems. But nowadays, they don't have a practical application. They are a common motif in the arts, though. The only physically existing puzzles I can think of are in the Museum of the Simulation. So, to answer your question, no idea. I think the only reason to build a lab in so remote a location is because you're trying to hide what you're doing. Or because what you're doing is dangerous. To me, it means accepting a certain amount of humility. Our ancestors thought they could master the world with no regard for any other organisms. They failed to see themselves as part of a greater whole. I think the Founder realized where they went wrong and tried to offer us a different path. A path where we have a place in this world, but the world is not ours. Me? Well, I was born when New Jerusalem was a lot smaller than it is now, and there was a lot of work to do. I wasn't really interested in technical stuff, engineering and so on, but I was good at keeping things organized. So I got involved with the administration side of things, making sure the scavenging teams focused on the right materials, keeping track of our energy usage, that sort of thing. I think we've accomplished what the Founder wanted us to, and I'm proud that I helped make that happen. Byron doesn't see it that way, obviously, but I think sometimes he gets so lost in his dreams that he forgets to look at the real world. Of course. My best friend, in fact, and someone I've worked with hundreds of times over the centuries. A good person who cares about the world and the people in it. I just also think he's wrong about everything and extremely annoying. Oh, he does. He absolutely does.
notice that many of these structures are not strictly functional. There's a sense of aesthetics, of beauty here. This place might be meant to test us somehow, but perhaps there's more to it than that.
I keep thinking, why puzzles? Is it just their symbolic value because of our history? Because the thing about puzzles is they can be solved. But if this is about testing us, what are we being tested for? It can't just be about spatial reasoning.
Our curiosity? Our persistence?
You're assuming that this place follows a coherent logic. My impression is that it's full of contradictions.